Hey guys, welcome back to part 11 of What If Naruto Was an Uchiha. In the previous episode where we basically left off the entire Itachi versus Sasuke fight had happened. Sasuke and Itachi were both stopped by Naruto using his genjutsu. White Zetsu, who was actually observing that match, was scared off by Naruto's arrival and this gigantic fire blazing around him. I would like to say this to kindly change up the entire scenario behind White Zetsu. Naruto being a pretty proficient, pretty powerful genjutsu user, he uses his Izunami type genjutsu that has quite basically been named the Izunami type genjutsu at this point to put the entire area in a genjutsu first, meaning White Zetsu probably saw Itachi getting killed by Sasuke, then a gigantic fire blaring around him, and he ran for it. In his mind, Itachi is dead. He does report that to Nagato, and that's that. Now, in this episode, I'd like to say I would like to take the relationship aspect forward as well, because I just remembered I completely forgot about it. So what happened between Naruto and Ino? It's pretty simple actually. After Naruto came back from the time skip, 3-year time skip with Jiraiya, Naruto and Ino basically went on a date. It was a pretty fine date. Naruto and Ino went to a restaurant for some food. After that, Naruto and Ino went to a little fair that was held in a small village right next to the main Leaf Village, where they actually ran into Sasuke and Sakura, who are actually currently on a date as well. He does taunt them a bit, being like, "Hey, Sakura, you finally got him, eh?" And Sakura does retort by saying, "Looks like you're out with Ino. Ain't that a surprise?" I don't know how human beings talk to each other. Forgive me. Anyway, so that happens. Naruto and Ino do decide on another date. Ino had a lot of fun on that date. Naruto feels that Ino is a pretty fun person. Why did I not go with Hinata? Because the gods have said so. Now, what else happens? Naruto and Ino, they're full-fledged dating. While Naruto is hanging out with Ino, he does run into Shikamaru and Choji. They are a team, don't forget that. And they do, get on Naruto about it. They're like, "Hey, Naruto, what's up with this? Ha ha ha! I don't know what to say." That whole relationship aspect does go forward. She just likes being around Naruto, and Naruto actually enjoys Ino's company. He enjoys being around her, he enjoys talking to her, and he enjoys going to her flower shop and smelling the flowers while looking at her. I don't know. They go picking flowers every now and then. Naruto actually took her out to a date once in Mount Myoboku while he was on his sage training, well, alongside Jiraiya as well. Mount Myoboku, beautiful place, very natural. Ino would love it. He does take her there. Some shit like that. Yada yada. They're a couple now. Now, what happens with the Pain arc, the entire arc of Pain? Oh no. After some consideration, as much as I don't want to, I do feel like it would make the most sense if Jiraiya does die. Yeah. Because Jiraiya's death was a important aspect of Naruto's development as well. Though I could make the argument that in this scenario Naruto himself is a pretty mature person and he probably has already taken the pacifist route, but he doesn't hesitate to kill someone if need be. It is a shinobi world out there, and he has been taught that by enough people. So, Tsunade the Hokage, Jiraiya does tell her that he is looking into this organization, and while she does elect to go with him, he does say that it would probably not be wise having her go with him, because she is the Hokage and she needs to stay in the village. How am I going to combat the fact that Naruto would probably want to go with him? Naruto's out on a mission. Fuck it. He's out on a mission with Kakashi and Sasuke, a inter-village relationship matter, trying to smooth things out with other villages. That's basically what it is. It's a diplomatic relationship mission they're out. Itachi, what happens with him? Well, after being brought back to the village by Naruto and Sasuke, and after being explained the situation to Naruto and Sasuke by Tsunade, they do decide, yeah, it's probably worth it having healing him because he was a massive help to the, and he has always been loyal to the Leaf Village. So yes, Tsunade does get working towards healing Itachi, and well, as mentioned by Megamax007, if anybody could heal Itachi, it would probably be Tsunade. So yes, Tsunade is healing Itachi now, and she will be busy with him for about a week. So what is the statement that goes out to the Leaf? Well, let's say the statement is somewhat like this. Now, they don't want to slander the Uchiha's reputation, so they don't. They basically tell them that it was in fact Madara Uchiha who had actually put Itachi in a genjutsu to slaughter the entire Uchiha clan, and Itachi has actually been broken free of that genjutsu years ago and has been working alongside the Leaf Village and Jiraiya himself, giving us information about an organization that is very evil and should be feared very much. So they buy that because yes, I'm hoping they would. Anyway, Itachi is in the village. He's being healed. What happened to Orochimaru? Because in case we forgot, a few episodes ago, when Orochimaru tried to kidnap Tsunade, he was kinda limp, with his head being the only thing that was working, on top of Manda. Anyway, so what happens to Orochimaru? Now, Orochimaru, obviously being the smart ass that he is, and seeing as how in the original he did find out about the whole Uzumaki Reaper Death Seal mask and all that thing, he does in fact research it again, and this time, it being very necessary, he does find out about it, and he does in fact unseal his soul. For now, only his soul, while also the other Hokages are in there. For now, he's kinda in a hurry because his current body is dying and he's still a limp bastard. So he does unseal his soul from the Reaper Death Seal, getting his, the use of his hands back, I guess, and he will take over Suigetsu's body. Yes, because right now, seeing as how there would probably be no other option, Kimimaru's probably too weak or already dead, Suigetsu is the one that makes the most sense. Now, somebody mentioned this to me. What happens with Karin? Because she's there. I don't know. Nothing happens with her. She's not really that important to the story. She just stays in one of Orochimaru's hideouts. Maybe later somebody can raid it and bring her back. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to what else happens. Oh yes, by the way, now Orochimaru can turn into water now, so that's cool. Anyway, what else happens now? Jiraiya, time for him to die. As I did mention a few episodes ago when Naruto was training with his Sage mode, he still hasn't completely perfected it, but he does not need the toads on his back. Jiraiya himself was actually pushed to train harder because of that, because a small brat did beat him in the Sage department. So Jiraiya had somewhat of a perfect Sage mode. He does not need the toads on his back to actually absorb the chakra. He leaves a shadow clone on a certain place to gather up the chakra for him, which is a little something that he learned from Naruto himself. Now, Jiraiya does infiltrate the Rain Village, if I'm not mistaken, and sadly he will get killed. Horrifyingly, kinda. Though in this, he does manage to take out about 3 of the paths of pain. Now what happens? I have recorded 2 videos now where Jiraiya dies, both of them kinda not making full sense. So, I will say this, while Jiraiya did leave, he had a transformed shadow clone in the form of a kunai that was a Naruto shadow clone. A shadow clone would not be able to use the Mangekyo if I'm not mistaken, or they probably would and I'm just a dumbass. Now, this is just there in case of emergencies when he might need a teleportation back. The teleportation is marked inside the Hokage's office, so probably Tsunade would be able to heal him, but I'm gonna say no, she won't. He will die in the hospital bed because I do feel like Jiraiya should probably die. We should have somebody die, Jiraiya making the most sense. Horrifyingly sad, but that is just how it goes, I'm sorry. Now, what happens? How does Jiraiya die? You know, the stab wounds that he did suffer were horrifyingly bad. He was gonna die no matter what. All he had to do was he only had a last-ditch effort left where he does deploy the Shadow Clone that Naruto had given him to teleport himself back. The Shadow Clone is surprised by the damage that Jiraiya has taken, and he does tell him, "You'll probably die, Jiraiya." Naruto obviously does get the information from the Shadow Clone, and he, during the mission, all of a sudden just breaks down right next to Kakashi and Sasuke. They just see Naruto suddenly tearing up and falling to the ground. Knees weak, arms shaking, eyes teary, all that shit. While then Sasuke does ask Naruto what happened. Naruto does not respond. He just yells out Jiraiya and breaks down crying. Horrifyingly sad, but this is life. Jiraiya does get transported to Tsunade's office where he does in fact collapse in front of Tsunade. Tsunade, well, she's surprised and immediately goes to start healing Jiraiya. She calls on the other healing medics. Itachi is also currently being healed by a few medics, so not all of them are available. Before Jiraiya does in fact die, he will die, don't worry about it. Tsunade does tell him these wounds are too severe, she might not be able to save him. Jiraiya does tell her that it's okay, he's lived his life, and he does give his speech that he had in the original, the whole what a way to die, valiant story. The book closes, his chapter is over, and bear in mind, remember, when the third Hokage died, Jiraiya was actually right next to him, so he actually does quote him as well in this death. Master and student die in the same way, eh? Protecting the village. Kinda, not really. Jiraiya then, well, for once in his life, he dies in the arms of Tsunade, so I guess that's a bit of a win for him. Jiraiya dies in Tsunade's arm, giving him a last look. Tsunade is tearing up. Jiraiya does say, "Finally, at least, in my death, at least you cried for me." I have no idea what I'm talking about. These are just the ramblings of a madman at this point. So, what happened to Naruto? Now, Sasuke and Kakashi do ask Naruto what happened, what was the problem. Naruto just yells Jiraiya, and then Kakashi does think that, oh my god, did he just die? And yeah, I guess he did. Naruto, he just can't take it. He actually wants to rush back to the village right now. Grief-stricken, he just can't do it right now. Sasuke and Kakashi do console him. Both of them have lost enough people to know the feeling, and so has Naruto, but at this point Naruto's lost a brother figure and a father figure and a actual set of parents as well, while looking at Fugaku as a bit of a stern uncle, and at Asuma as a bit of a big brother figure. And at the third Hokage as a grand. Oh my god, this guy has lost a lot. Anyway, moving on. So what happens to Pain Invasion, all that shit? Naruto goes back to the land of the toads because, he's like, okay, you know what? We're going to master this shit. Any techniques that I should learn, I'm going to learn right now. And he actually needed to step away from the village for a few moments because he actually could not take it. And being with the toads does give him a bit of happiness and a bit of closure to Jiraiya as well. While Naruto is away, the village is attacked by Pain. What happens? Well, before I do get into the attack, I would like to change a few things up. First off, I realized that I just got Naruto out of here so that he wouldn't be here in the village when the attack started, because the battle might be pretty different. Secondly, I gave Sasuke the Mangekyo Sharingan in the previous episode because of a genjutsu, and I still don't know if that would work. So I need you guys to comment and tell me if that would probably work. If you guys think that would not, it probably does not make a lot of logical sense. So that is why I'm actually a bit confused about this. Do comment. I will listen to you. Anyway, Itachi is in the village this time, so that's nice. That will actually be very helpful. Itachi is healing up, and he's actually at like 80%, which is pretty fucking massive when you think about it. His illness is no longer critical. He actually can survive this. He's just a bit, feeling a bit off. The invasion of pain does start, and the initial parts, they do go the same, because Itachi, obviously in the hospital bed, he does sense that something is suddenly wrong, and immediately after, half of Konoha just gets crushed. Woohoo! Now, Itachi versus Pain, how would that go? Not amazing. I mean, Itachi is pretty powerful. Don't get me wrong. He is over the fucking top powerful. But would he be able to fight Pain? 5 paths, the Rinnegan. He would probably put up a good fight. I'll say that. Obviously, Genjutsus won't be super effective on this guy because he could probably, battle the Genjutsu with his own. Not that I actually have seen Pain ever use a Genjutsu, because, only one fight that we probably saw of him. Okay, so the entire invasion starts. Sasuke and Itachi do walk outside, and they actually help in the cleanup process. Itachi himself takes out about 3 of the paths of pain before they are quickly escorted away by the other path to get healed by that other path, whose name I do keep on forgetting, so I'm not even going to Google it anymore. Anywho, Itachi doesn't know about the powers of these paths of pain because he has been in the Akatsuki for quite a while, and Nagato is actually surprised while seeing Itachi, because he thought he was dead, and he is quite frankly surprised that Itachi was actually, a double agent. Not super, but he is surprised nonetheless. The entire invasion does start, and right in the middle of it, Naruto does in fact come back much earlier than he does in the original. What are the other characters doing at this point? Sasuke is currently fighting alongside Kakashi with a few paths of pain, while Sasuke actually, does get distracted by a path and has to leave Kakashi's side. Kakashi, eventually gets overwhelmed by 2 separate paths, while Sasuke is probably fighting, I don't know, the Asura path, while Itachi is, trying to fight the Deva path, which is probably going to be an intense battle, which I don't even know how to narrate, because this would be a battle of the, it would have an insane fucking battle, I guess. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, then Itachi probably wouldn't be able to defeat Nagato outright, because, in the original, when they were revived, Itachi did need Naruto's help to, completely defeat Nagato himself. So I'm gonna say Itachi does have a amazing fight with Nagato. Now, Sakura is actually currently busy fighting off a few of the pains, and actually trying to keep the villagers safe as well. She has summoned Katsuyu in there to, separate, try to heal some ninjas around the village, and actually heal up Tsunade, because, she is kind of fucked up right now. While Sakura is actually busy fighting another path of pain and some of the summonings that Naruto had brought on the battlefield. Naruto does arrive at this point with his sage mode and all that shit. He does see the villages kind of destroyed, and he actually looks around. He sees a gigantic Susanoo battling against some gigantic animal thingies, the animal path. While at this point Kakashi actually does die, as he does in the original, because he was overwhelmed by 2 separate paths of pain. Kakashi does meet up with his father in the afterlife, and he does reconcile with his dad as well. And what else happens? Now Naruto arrives to the battlefield, and the odds completely, are in Naruto and the team's favor. Itachi, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura actually combined effort do manage to completely decimate Pain, while Naruto, using his Sage Mode, does go to Pain's hideout. They have that little chit-chat that they did in the original. Pain does actually allow the lives of the people that were lost back. And as far as I know, this doing this does kill Pain himself, but everybody who died does come back, and that's all nice and good. And Itachi is okay, Sasuke is okay, Kakashi is back from the dead. Sakura was kind of useful in the battle, so that's nice as well. Tsunade, is she completely decimated? No, she is bedridden though. So Danzo would probably try to seize this opportunity to become the Hokage, but no, he will not become the Hokage, as Itachi is now back in the village, and he would probably rebuttal the statements that Danzo made by, telling them the truth of what happened that day when Shizui died. Danzo having, and well, there being enough proof of Danzo's treachery, him allowing the coup d'etat to happen, him actually forcing the Uchihas to even think of the coup d'etat, him killing Shizui, who was actually trying to go for a peaceful resolution, and him being a pretty big douchebag. All in all, the village elders do listen to this, and with enough proof that was presented around the circumstance of Danzo being a douchebag, he is arrested, and his what's his fleet called again? His root ninjas are disbanded as well, and anybody loyal to Danzo will actually be kept under intense supervision by the village elders. And how did they actually know that Danzo was a utter and total douchebag? First off, his hand has got a shit ton of Sharingans in them. Secondly, they would probably use the Yamanaka interrogator, who was Ino's father, I forget, Inojin I think his name was, to interrogate Danzo, and they will find out the truth. Danzo would probably try to put him in a genjutsu using some of the Sharingan in his arms, but Itachi's there, Naruto's there, Sasuke's there, Kakashi's there, Danzo's not doing jack shit. And also, some of the Hyugas are there just to block his chakra if he actually tries to do something smart. His arm is cut off because we're not gonna let him have all those fucking Sharingans in his arm. And yeah, that's it. Danzo is put behind bars, where he will probably die a slow and painful or sad death for him. For us, it's a happy party time. That is how this episode would end, and after this we would probably move into the war arc, which is going to be something else, something insane, something